Armada book for Chapter 6 The Shoppers Part 2. Vicky moved over to the girls and listened in. Ellie, you have to take Lachine to Paris then New York. Edna said. Paris is okay, but I want to see some items in Lisbon, Tokyo and Hong Kong. Ellie said. You don't have to go cheap. Go to Dubai, New York and Dusseldorf. Here, use this card, buy anything you like on me. Maria said. Edna gave Lachine her card as well. Then Liz gave Linda her card. So how much can I spend? Lachine asked. No limit. Spend like there is no tomorrow. Edna answered. Buy yourselves each a husband, you are all unattached. Vicky said, and the girls laughed. That would be next to impossible. They're already attached to their jobs. Maria said. Look, when you find him you will know. Liz said as she looked at Tommy, who was sitting beside her. He looked at her and continued to eat. Santiago and Santos were in a conversation too technical even for Tommy sitting beside Santos. Just then Ari beamed in to have lunch. Danny was there to direct her to the grill. She got grilled fish and sat with the girls. Julia walked over and kissed her, then they both sat beside her with the girls. Ari, good you're here. Why don't you accompany these three girls and show them the latest fashion for young people? Maria said. I am not as young as Ari, and Linda is definitely older than me. Ellie said. Not that young, I mean, but Ari would know the iron things for your age. Maria countered. Not really, I have not been to Earth in the last 6 months. The last time we were there was for the convention and that's it. Ari said. Then you three might get lost. Edna said and embraced Ellie like she always does, from the back. We could never be lost, Edna. We have our ships following our every move. Ellie said. You might buy the worst things, I mean the worst in fashion. Maria said. Okay, I'll go, I guess it could be worse like you said. Ari said. Tell Ellie to buy for you also, anything you like on me. Maria said. Albert called Maria over to their table with Harold, Gadden, Gilkin, Timmy and Elaine. Harold told the CIA to give you all their money. He was afraid the Inky investments might dilute the U.S. share in our companies across the galaxies. Albert said. Sir, we are talking about a lot of money here. The CIA's $3 trillion is like a tenth of what Roden invested in all our endeavors. He figured we are giving him more return than all his investments in the Inky galaxies. Now Ambassador Gilkin got a head start against Roden by a few weeks, and they invested that much also. Timmy's investments already almost equals the whole U.S. investment of $10 trillion. Maria said. I did not know he had that much money. Albert said, looking at Timmy, who gave the thumbs up. Well, we updated our tax payments and he was really happy about it. And the reality is all the other Earth human planets are making a killing in the trading business. Then with the new human planets, the market has expanded on the human side, but we are still working to make them work. But the bulk of our profits come from trade with the Norsets, Inkies, and Max. The Talonauts are not yet on stream in a big way, but we are past the starting line and we feel we are almost there already. The vehicle program will really hit trade big time. Also, once we have the TPs in place, deliveries will be faster and will result in higher turnovers. You have to understand, Harold, our society have all the infrastructure and logistics we would ever need times 10. We have been accumulating wealth for hundreds of thousands of years. We wanted Maria to get 10 times what she accepted to start, but she refused because she felt it wasn't fair to Roden. So with the Talonauts, you can expect she will accept only roughly the same amount. I heard the Marantais are also getting in on the game. Gilkin explained. If you noticed, we have been expanding so much, we have people precisely assigned to ensure we do not lose control. The 6 ships we purchased, plus the 2 given to us by Roden and the 2 given by the Max, have all been converted to moving offices. The ship AI are really a big help in managing things. Our ships have around 200,000 people working round the clock, and our entire operations now involve more than 100 million humans, Max, Inkies and so many other aliens working in several planets to increase trade amongst our worlds. But we can only expand so much. It would not be fair to get 10 times the money we actually need. Maria explained. I thought there was some other reason. Gilkin said with a smile. Look, Roden and I are very good friends. We have personal projects together. Mostly charities and non-profit groups. Like the universities and research facilities, not only for humans but for the Intis and Furlets as well. But we can only take in money that we can actually use to profit from. Finally, there are thousands of business people out there from the Inkies, Max and some surprisingly, Norsets. We control maybe a drop in an ocean of well-established companies operating from hundreds of years ago. Maria said. How about your campaign, Harold? Don't you need any money? Albert asked. No, I am using my own money. Edna sent him 10 checks for $1 billion each and he sent it back. Maria said. I never thought you had so much money, Harold. Albert quipped. Will I withdrew all my money from Edna? Harold said. The presidency is a thankless job. You have no ROI. Albert said. Money is not important to me. Never in my wildest dreams did I even imagine that I would be campaigning at all. So this is the best thing that ever happened to me. You told me that when you got married. Albert said. I said that only because you told me that too, Albert. Harold said, and they all laughed. At Eric's table, Junie, have you ever gone to Earth? Eric asked. No. May I invite you? Maybe you can buy something for your wife and kids. My treat. Can I go too? I can speak the language already. Manpat said. Sure, but you have to use the chameleon device. What's so exciting about Earth is that they have not been opened up yet. Harold would probably announce it next year. Eric said. I heard you have movies about us. How do I look in the movies? Manpat asked. I have no idea, I have not even watched a single episode. But I'm sure you look like a Talanaut with your real face because I know they actually used actual aliens in actual settings and actual ships showing the faces of the actual people. The Roden and Gantley actors use chameleon devices to appear as the real Roden and Gantley. It's cheaper and more realistic. Eric said. Sarudam approached them. Hey, can I go too? I also know the language and I can pay for what I spend. Where did you get the money? Manpat asked. From Andrew. He gave me this card and told me I can pay for anything I want with it. Andrew walked over. You know the girls are also going to Earth, but I think you should go separately. Here, Manpat, have this card, buy anything you like, on me. I shouldn't have sent Chaylin to the Planet University. I don't know how and what to buy. Junie said. They started to drink and after a while they noticed the girls were gone. The girls first went to Hong Kong and it was early afternoon. Ari suggested they beam straight into a downtown hotel restroom. They went out through the revolving door of the hotel and at the people outside were looking at them strangely. They went straight into a large mall across the wide street. Lachine was particularly amazed at the well-decorated and fully stocked stores. They went to a famous brand name store and they noticed the people seemed to be looking at them differently. They realized Lachine and Ellie were wearing greens and Linda was wearing their everyday blues. Ari was in a Starship officer uniform. They laughed at themselves as they started to look around. Lachine was with Ellie and they were looking at summer dresses. They seemed to have similar taste and when they presented their find to Ari, I guess you could wear those. I'm not really into dresses. This is my first time to buy a dress and a red dress at that. Actually, it was her first time to buy anything since she was born. Red suits you. Get this yellow dress also and this one. Ellie said and directed her to try the dresses on at the dressing room. Ari followed them inside with some jeans and blouses. After an hour Lachine had bought more than 24 items and 4 pairs of shoes. Ellie bought less and Linda even lesser. Ari bought 2 outfits with matching pairs of shoes. They then went to pay and beamed to Ellie's ship. They had a change of clothes and beamed down again, this time to Tokyo. Lachine looked at the prices and, these are more expensive than the last place we went to. We are in a different country and the currency is different. The local currency is called yen and it's about 100 yen to $1. Ellie said. What's $1? Never mind Lex, just buy anything you like. Ellie said. Ari heard a single Mac word and saw 2 Mac women looking at clothes. She talked to them in a local Mac language and they were surprised. Then the 2 saw Ellie and they suddenly became excited and asked Ari for something. They are asking if they can take a picture with you, Ellie. Sure, Lachine, Linda, come over here. These Macs want to take a picture with us. The 2 Macs saw Linda and Lachine and they got even more excited. They used their phones and asked another customer in Japanese to take their picture. Then they thanked the lady in Japanese and ran off. It took them 2 hours before they checked out separately one at a time and each waited at a small coffee shop with all their items, which is a lot. Tom beamed in and Lachine saw him get all Ellie's things into the restroom and beamed them out. Lachine, Linda and Ari gave their bags to Tom as well. Their next stop was Shanghai where they spent another 2 hours. After that they ate dinner at Linda's favorite restaurant. Ellie was amazed that Linda can talk Mandarin. Then they moved to Paris, which was about lunchtime. After 2 hours of shopping they felt hungry so they ate at this famous French restaurant near the Eiffel Tower. Again Ellie was amazed Linda can speak French, clear and fast. There's a fashion show in a place a block from here. Do you guys want to watch? Linda asked. Sure. I haven't been in one. Ellie said. I don't even know what a fashion show is. Lachine added. It's a show where beautiful women show off clothes but none of which we would ever buy or use. Ari said. Lachine was even more confused now. They bought the most expensive tickets, which were 1 row behind the first near the runway and then sat and waited for the show. Ellie saw Lachine's face change to a more pale distressed look. What's wrong, Lex? This is the same feeling I have before a major incident happens. Reedon, can you scan for bombs around the area, better yet scan the whole city? Scan for people carrying bombs and bombs planted already. Tom, do a double scan. Ellie said. Linda heard the two. Jesse, run a third scan please. They were still waiting for the fashion show to start. After 10 minutes Reedon told them they found 8 bombs planted and 6 people with bombs in their cars and trucks. Beam the bombs and all of them out immediately to a desert or where they cannot go far and call the Marines to deal with them. Lachine said. Reedon, contact General Allen and tell him about the situation. Linda said. Tom, tell the other ships to scan the major cities in the U.S. Ellie said. The show started with a bang and the girls were amazed at how pretty the models were and the clothes were really well designed. You're right, Ari, those clothes are not what we will ever buy or even use. Lachine said. Now she understands. After the show, they went to London and started another shopping spree. Reedon told the girls that a scan of the city of London also revealed several bombs of the same type as the ones in Paris but were not deployed by the group yet. The ships also found 4 groups with similarly designed bombs in New York and Texas. General Allen's instructions was to beam the people and bombs separately into holding areas. They are now interviewing and reading the minds of the Paris group. At the checkout counter, Ellie had a problem with the card. Then they all realized their cards were blocked. Tom appeared and gave cash to the girls. He explained the cards were blocked because they were spending it all over the world. In Asia, it did not raise a red flag, and when you started using it in Paris, the red flag was raised after you checked out. Liz have instructed her bank to issue new cards in your names. You will get them in a few minutes. Let's go to New York and after that we can call it a day. I feel a bit tired already. Linda said. Yes, but I have to look at the things I bought again before I retire. Ellie said. In New York, they chose the biggest department store to go to first. This time Lachine was so sure what to do and what to get she went straight to the jewelry section to get some earrings and necklaces. At the counter, she was observing a man intently looking at a necklace, then moved to less expensive ones, then back to the expensive necklace again. Your partner would love those. Lachine said as she felt the man was intending to buy 4. I am also looking for one for my daughter who will graduate high school in a few months. I was just looking at them and maybe I can save on them. Good thing this store has not discontinued its layaway program. I'll pay for them for you. Lachine said and called the salesperson and told her, I want to buy this and this. Put them on this card please. The man was not talking. Are you sure you want to pay for those? Why? Lachine did not answer. Wait, I want to buy 2 of these, 2 of these and 2 of these earrings, and add 2 of this one. Put them in another bag and charge the same card. Some of the jewelry she could not describe. She does not know how they were called. Lachine looked at the man. Don't even think about it. The salesperson gave her card back and asked her to sign. By the way, my name is Ronald. I would like to pay you if you can give me your name and address. The saleslady gave Lachine the merchandise in 2 bags and she gave the smaller bag to Ronald. Consider this a gift. Lachine turned to leave. But it's over $60,000. Ronald told her. Lachine waved goodbye. At the lobby the girls found a young woman being photographed and signing autographs. Lachine and Ari joined the crowd and saw a very pretty young woman signing books and autographs. They asked the guard what's up. The guard told them she's a TV star from a sci-fi TV series. What TV series? Ellie asked. Guard explained, I don't know but I heard from the people her name was Ellen and she portrays the head scientist in a space Armada show. I thought that TV sci-fi series sucks. Linda said. No. They made a movie out of it and it was really good. I know a lot of people following the adventures of the Armada on TV. I watched one time and the sets and aliens look so real like in the movie. The guard said. Linda and Ellie walked further out laughing. Lachine caught up and asked, what's so funny? She's the actress that portrays me in the TV series. Ellie said. That's so weird. 6 months ago, the TV series was not doing well. Ari said. Apparently after they made a movie, it took off. Linda said. It took them more than 3 hours to finish shopping in the same store. Their second last stop was at another famous store. They had given Tom all their items to beam in. Ari was the last to give her bags to Tom. They were walking towards the door when 2 police officers accosted Ari and told her they found weed in her bags. That's impossible, you must have the wrong person. Where are the bags? I don't even have a bag. A call from another officer revealed they have lost sight of the bags and the carrier as well. The 2 officers were forced to let them go. That is so strange. Tom, what happened? Ellie said. Tom explained that he was able to beam out before 2 officers came into the restroom. Tag the 4 officers, track their calls and trace all their calls in the last month. Ellie said. What's weed, Ari? Lachine asked. It's a plant that makes you feel good. And it's legal. They singled you out, Ari. They probably do not know us, and if my hunch is correct, it's connected with Harold's campaign. They probably want to discredit your mother, who is backing Harold. They must have been following us from the last store we went to, Linda said. Reedon told the girls that General Allen was on to the cops. The girls got out of the building and began walking to the corner to cross the street to the other mall. Suddenly a van stopped beside them and 4 guys with guns drawn motioned them to get into the van. Let's play along, Linda told the girls. Inside the van their faces were covered with hoods and their hands were cuffed behind them. When the hoods were removed they were in a warehouse surrounded by large men holding short semi-automatic guns. Good afternoon, Ari. My name is General Wayne and I work for the FBI. A person wearing an Army general's uniform spoke. Tom told the girls he is indeed a general but works with the other political party. The other men are also FBI agents. General Cook is on the case already. Julia has been apprised of the situation. Wayne continued, we were informed by the NYPD that you were caught with some amount of weed and we would like you to know that we believe this is a big issue with your mother. So we arranged a press conference where you will have to answer some media questions. You do know it's an offense to treat a child of the Secretary of State this way. You could lose your job, all of you. I want to talk to my mother right now, and if you do not let me talk to her you are all going to get it. Ari said. We have no quarrel with your mother, we want to protect her. Wayne said. Look, General Wayne, you do not understand what you are getting yourself into. Whoever hatched this harebrained plan must be really crazy. I will give you one last time to tell us all you know about this operation, or I will order people to put all of you to sleep, and when you wake up you will all be in prison for treason. Linda said. Who the hell are you? Wayne shouted. Ellie answered, I'm Colonel Ellie Rivers and this is General Linda Bourne of the Air Force. You can start by removing these cuffs and then you can tell us what we want to know. Tell your people to put all their weapons on that table over there. The people looked at each other. An officer behind Wayne said, there must be some mistake, we have no intel on you two and her as well. He pointed to Lachine. Obviously. You have no intelligence. Lachine exclaimed and Ari laughed. I will give you a minute to start removing these cuffs and start telling us what we want to know. Linda said. Wayne signaled the men to remove the cuffs. You can all go now. Wayne said. No, we are not going anywhere until you tell us what we want to know. Ellie said. Look, we have guns and you don't, so get going. Wayne shouted. Are you threatening a general, General? Linda exclaimed. I don't give a fuck who you are, you get out of here, now. Wayne shouted. Tom told the girls that there are several press people from several organizations waiting outside. General Allen told me to tell you that they will put all of them to sleep on your order, Linda. Linda looked at Ellie. Tom, put all these guys to sleep. Let's go to General Cook. Wayne looked at her and fell on the floor. She was really tired and doesn't want to waste time with a crazy general. General Cook greeted the group. Hi Linda, Ellie, Lachine, Ari. The prisoners are all in a holding area in an underground facility in the desert, all sleeping. Julia and Danny beamed over and embraced Ari. I was so worried for you, Ari, seeing you handcuffed and all. Julia said. Mom, I'm a second lieutenant starship officer. Ari said. She looked at her boss, General Cook. I can take care of myself. I think you conducted yourself calmly and alert. You did not panic and thought through the situation. You even threatened your captors to extract the response you want. Allen said. Thank you, sir. Danny countered, but you're still my baby girl. And you can never be too sure about these situations. It was actually a lot of fun. And besides, I am with the best women commanders in the galaxies. How can I go wrong? Ari asked. I actually followed through what you started, Ari. So my compliments to your first field trial. Linda said. It also snagged for us a top dog. But most of the FBI agents were just unwitting puppies. And Lachine, congratulations on the bombers. How the hell did you know? Allen asked. I felt it. Ellie added, we were at the fashion show and she turned white with fear. Then she ordered the scan and I ordered a second pass and Linda ordered a third pass. We reacted quickly together. Linda said. Apparently the French Secret Service have been on these guys for months and have not generated solid proof and do not know how extensive the operation is. Allen said. How about the London bombs? Linda asked. Same group. Their purpose is really destabilization, hoping for a power change. The Brits were advised by the French on this and they have started to investigate this already, but no leads. A highly organized terrorist group for hire. Lachine said. Exactly, and we are on to their organization already. None of their accomplices can hide. By the end of the day, we shall have talked to all their acquaintances, and by midnight we would know who the accomplices of their accomplices are. By tomorrow we will have them all in prison. And none of them will see the light of day, until Harold makes the announcement at least. Alan said. That's fast. So what's next? Julia asked. Trace the money. Lachine said. Exactly, in fact not only are we on the money, we are also getting them for the CIA already. I guess you could be looking at billions. Linda said. Alan added, yes, and we have found some rather odd balances lying around. So how did the shopping go, Lachine? Julia asked. Amazing. I have never gone shopping in my whole life, and I was absolutely amazed and enjoyed it very much. Lachine said. While solving a terrorist attempt. Alan said. Lachine smiled at Alan. I probably bought more than 100 items. Julia looked at Ari. Well, I got 15 sets of clothes and shoes and bags and some jewelries, Ari said. Good, that means no more spending for you. Danny said, and just imagined all the savings, maybe for the next 3 months, at least. Fine. Ari said. She thought 1 more day or maybe 2 more. Alan was laughing. I know you are all excited to see what you bought. You don't have to concern yourselves with anything here. You can all go ahead, everything is under control. Linda laughed. Thanks, boss. They all beamed out to Ellie's ship. At Ellie's bridge, their purchases were in 4 stacks and they all lost no time in opening them. Ari started showing all her purchases to her parents, who were only too happy for the savings. Julia looked at all the clothes the girls bought and offered her comments. Ellie knew Julia as the most impeccable dresser within her circle, and when she approved of her purchases she was elated. Meanwhile, Eric's group ended up in Las Vegas after shopping in Asia. There they gambled away until Junie won the highest jackpot yet. They had to set up his U.S. identity and social security number so he could claim the prize. Kristen warned Eric several times of gang-related potential problems around them, and Eric did not want to get involved in anything. There was even a shootout just outside of the casino next door, and while there were a lot of confusion and some panic, Eric still did not budge. He made sure his friends continued to have a good time. Kristen told them about the bombing incidents and the kidnapping. Eric just shrugged and made sure he would read about it later on. They were all done gambling, and Eric suggested they meet up with the girls at Ellie's ship. When Eric and the men beamed up, Ellie chided them because each of them bought only 4 items each, while Eric bought 1 item in 1 bag. See this pile? This is how you should shop, Manpat, Junie. Ellie said. I have never shopped in my whole life. Manpat said. Me, I don't even know what shopping is. Junie said. Of course not, you're kings. Julia said, and everybody laughed. Yes, kings don't shop. But I learned something very important today. Manpat said. What? Linda asked. Gambling. Gambling is so profitable and eases a lot of stress in a lot of people. And did you notice how Kristen keeps warning us about the house cheating the odds? Eric asked. If the house doesn't cheat, they would not make any money. If you think about it, their profits are in exchange for the happiness they provide the gamblers. Manpat said. I believe you would be a good gambling lord, Manpat. The only problem there is that the business attracts and are so prone to crooks and bad guys. Linda said. I better go to my ship and retire, it's been a very long day. Thank you all for giving me my first and the best shopping day in my whole life. Lachine said, and embraced Ari, Linda, Ellie, and Julia. She told Tom to beam her things to her room and she was gone. Linda and Ari's family bade all the guys goodbye and they were gone. Okay, let's get a drink at an Irish pub in Ireland. Anyone for a few beers? Eric asked. Junie, Manpat, and Sarutam said they all want to go. Eric gave Tom the address and they're gone. When Ellie was alone, she told Tom to beam her to her room, where she just dropped on her bed and slept. At the Irish pub, Andrew and Roger joined the group. Roger went to my house for lunch, but when we found out from Tom that you're in an Irish pub, we decided to have lunch here or dinner. Andrew said. Eric brought some beer mugs, and when he saw Andrew and Roger, went back to get 2 more. Manpat was so fired up with gambling that he invited all of the men to get into the business. The men decided to put up the first casino on Junie's planet since it's at the center of the sphere. They worked out the kind of machines and operations. Then they called Harold, who beamed in for a few minutes and agreed to fund 1/4 of the operation. The next day, Lachine jumped up out of bed and told Reedon to contact her sister. I tried to call you yesterday and Reedon said you were below shopping? What's shopping anyway? Sis, it's when you go out and look for clothes and shoes and bags from so many items and so many establishments, and you choose the best that makes you happy and you buy it. I have never bought anything. It was either mom or dad or the government that makes me look at what I like to wear. It's really a lot of fun. Take this red dress. Wow, I like that. What else? This yellow and white dress, then this blouse, look at these shoes. She pointed the shoes lined up beside the bed. Wow, so blouse is like the top of a dress. That red pair goes well with the dress. Of course. See these 6 pairs of shoes, they call these boots. I even bought this hat, see. What did you buy for me? These pile here. See this dress, these pants, down there are your shoes. You have 3 pairs of boots. She lifted the dress and pointed to the shoes on the other side of the chair. We have the same shoe size, so if you like anything here on my side just tell me. Good choice. I like the brown boots on your side of the shoe line. When can I get them? 2 or 3 days. Why don't you come over and I will show you around, we'll shop together and it would be so much fun. Where did you get the money? I have not sent you any yet. Edna gave me this card that we use to buy anywhere. Then Liz gave us cash and some more cards. They told us to spend like there is no tomorrow. And I don't have to pay them no matter how much I spend. It's good to have rich friends. Money does not matter to these people. They give so much away anyway, so this is really something they would be happy doing for their friends. I hope I could see what you are buying so I can tell you if I like it or not. If I bring Reedon along, his body has videos as eyes so he can transmit the images to you so you can say yes or no or whatever. That would be nice. When are you going down again? Maybe today. I am sure the girls will take this opportunity to the extreme. Reedon appeared and told her that Ellie and Linda are already waiting for her and Ari so they can go down and shop again. See, I'm right. I will take Reedon with me so you can choose the things you like. Just make sure you are available. I am available now and waiting. Lachine got dressed and beamed to Ellie's bridge with Reedon. Reedon is coming with us? Ellie asked. Yes, so Sonia can see what we are buying. She would be able to see the items and then I can buy for her. Then Ari appeared wearing a safari outfit. Good idea, Lex. Good, Ari, you're here. Are we going? It's not like every day we get to shop for free. Ari said. Okay girls, first stop is Beverly Hills at Rodeo Drive. Tom, please. Linda said. Julia, Elaine and Vicky are all online and would be joining the shopping, Reedon told the girls through their implants. Where's my mom? Ari asked. At her office in Planet Los Angeles. Elaine is at her office at the university and Vicky is at her office in her ship. They all gave me their cards for you to use, if you like. Reedon said. They went to each and every store and onto the other 3 streets where they bought not only for them but for their remote shoppers as well, including Sonia. Tom appeared and acted as their bagman. It was a bit tricky for Tom to beam out their purchases, but he did it walking towards the parking lot, which were mostly empty of people. Then they went to Bangkok and had lunch there, then New Delhi, then to Berlin, and Dubai. Lachine was getting the hang of it and she realized the cultural differences and their related fashion. She ended up buying twice the number she bought yesterday. The other girls were not far behind. Even the remote shoppers were able to get more than 3 dozen items each. By evening, Linda decided to have dinner in Australia at Andy's and Rita's. Hi Andy, Rita. Linda greeted the couple. Andy thought for a while, trying to remember her face. Yes, Linda. Hey, how are you, dear? I'm okay. She introduced Ari, Ellie and Lachine. We know you guys, you're Julia's daughter and you work with Andrew and you are the famous Karaki general. We read the off-world news all the time. Rita said. I did not know there were public news. Ellie said. It was started by Don and Donna for those people without access to the ship logs. Andy said. Yes, I remember Don and Donna. Reek's daughter. Ellie said. They make the most mundane stories look exciting. Rita said. I guess it's true. We do lead boring lives. Lachine said. Not at all. You guys do what no one else does. Imagine, now I have several more planets to put my restaurants in. Andy said. We do encourage people to move around. Linda commented. Reek told me the 2 are getting married in 5 months. Rita said. Andy added, and the Bwoofing Prince will have his wedding the month after that. I presume they have a gossip section too? Linda asked. Yes, but it's strange to read about gossip on another species which we find normal but entirely odd to them. Like you, Linda, with Eric. And the Inky culture of having a woman bear several children by different fathers is scandalous to us. Rita said. What, Linda and Eric? Ellie asked. The girl suddenly looked at Linda. Then at Andy. Andy answered, it was the reading Keelmill made, remember, here on that table, and Don made it look like something else. Andy looked at the girls and told the whole story to them. That's why I hate the press. Linda said. Well, it does make for a good movie. I think Don is working with the movie writers to be consistent and reinforce each other's stories to put drama and intrigues into the script. Rita said. Did General Mann or maybe Roger have a hand at this? Ellie asked. No, dear, why would you say that? Andy countered. I guess those guys are too crazy for their own good. Ari and Lachine were busy eating away. This beef is much softer and tastier than the ones we have on the ship, Lachine said. We have processes to make them like that. Andy said. Will you ever sell chicken and fish? Ari asked. No. We are simply known for what we do best, Rita answered. After lunch, which was their dinner, Rita showed them around the malls and where they bought their last items before heading back to Ellie's ship.